Hi, Gillian. This is Gillian Roulston, our artist, and I'm just changing the view so we get more of Gillian. My name is Fleur Allen. I'm the founding director of Out of the Box Biz Art. Now, Gillian Roulston and I've been working together originally in my online art gallery, Interactive Arts. And now she's game enough to continue the journey after many years in our other entity now called Out of the Box Biz with our art division. So welcome, Gillian.
Thank you, Fleur.
And you've got a brand new work called Tea Time that I'm really excited to see and to hear you share the experience of creating it.
Well, I'm a little bit of a tea addict, and I've got a few different teapots, and so because tea is and teapots are one of my favourite things in life, I decided one day that I would start painting a series of teapots. So this was the first one that I did.
Fantastic.
And I decided to do them on paper, or do some on paper, and I'll eventually get some on canvas as well. But also included in the painting, I have used different types of paper as well to create the textures, because if anybody knows my work, they know that I like having a lot of texture in my paintings. So I've used some handmade papers and lacy papers. I've also used paint, inks, and a bit of charcoal in there as well, different mediums, just to create some interest in the painting. Yeah, so that's how that one came about. And the flowers that I've used in there, I was hunting around in different shops and came across this particular flower. So I thought that the shape of the flower goes quite well with my cast iron teapot.
Yeah, so can we have, it's just difficult to see the image. Do you want to just give us a little shot of the painting and the teapot there? Just come out a little bit further. Yeah, there you go. It's hard to see because it's all reflecting. So Gillian's got this on display just in a temporary frame. The work is available for sale, and it won't obviously have that reflection of Gillian's phone with my face in the middle of the painting. But we'll put a link of the photograph of the work. And so this work is, as Gillian says, on paper, but it's unframed, and we're just using this temporary frame for display purposes. So that's to give whoever decides to own the work some freedom in choices of how they'd like it to be presented and framed, so they can coordinate it with their home or style of where they're wanting it to hang. So Gillian, tell us more about your obsession with tea, because I love tea as well. I gave up coffee myself personally about 4 years ago, so I'm a little bit tea obsessed as well. So is it caffeine tea? Is it all different kinds of teas?
It's all different kinds of tea. I do occasionally have a coffee, but tea is the beverage that I go to start my day and to finish my day as well. And, so I will drink different types of teas. I will drink herbal teas and floral teas and fruit teas. And
so any tea really. And this cast iron teapot, is it a particular type of tea or occasion or mood, or when do you choose this one?
Well, this one is my morning pot, where I just have my normal black tea in there so that I have my milk. The cast iron teapot was actually a gift from my husband. He does feed my addictions, which is good. And,
wise man.
Yeah. And I've got some little ceramic teapots. I've got a cute little green one that I use for my green tea when I want green tea. So I've got different little drinking cups and things like that. So it's a little bit of I don't know, it's just a little hobby. And I like to drink my teas out of nice vessels as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We are very like-minded, Gillian Roulston. So tell me a little bit about your little stash of papers.
I Oh, yeah. See, that's something else that I'm a bit obsessed with too, is paper. I love paper.
Should we have called this exhibition Home Obsession Home instead of Home Sweet Home?
Um, I love paper, and there's so many different papers around. Um, and I've had this obsession with paper for years and years and years. There used to be an art paper supply place on Stirling Highway about 25, 30 years ago. And whenever I visited Perth, I used to go out there and I would just spend hours looking at all the papers, feeling them. Feeling them is a big thing.
Well, you must be quite kinesthetic, because you do like a lot of texture in your work.
Yes, and you know, there's just so many papers, different papers around, handmade papers, and it's just exciting, I think, you know.
And how have you incorporated it into this work? So you've used inks as well?
Yeah, I've used ink. So with some of the paper that I've used here, the texture in the paper, like in the teapot, I'm not sure if you can actually see the texture there in the teapot. Oh, hang on, there.
Yeah.
That's created with a paper, which I've glued on with a special medium that I use. And then I've used that to also create the texture in the teapot, because my actual teapot has a pattern on it, which is similar to that. So I just sort of used my paper there. Then down here is a handmade paper that I collected quite a few years ago. And that has actually got bits of leaf and twig and things in there. So when I've come over the top of that with some paint, it's picked up the texture in the paper, and that, you know, it just...
Okay, we just lost connection with Gillian, but we're back again. So Gillian was just explaining the use of paper at the bottom of the work.
Okay, so I think we're up to this paper down here. So this, hang on, I'll just try and angle my phone to get it at the right. This along here is a handmade paper, which has some leaves and twigs in there. So when I've come over with the paint, it's actually picked up the texture of the leaves and that in there. And and I've used the black in here is ink. There's other inks through there, and there's also a little bit of charcoal through here as well.
So is it giving like a water colour type effect? Or not really, is it denser than that?
It's denser than watercolour, but the background, because the way that I've done the background of this, it's kept it soft like watercolour.
Yeah.
A lot of people, the watercolours are quite soft. So the background, I've got papers in that also in the very background. So that's kept the work underneath soft like a watercolour, soft and gentle. And then I've just created some really strong, intense colours for the teapot and the flowers, just to give it that sort of I don't know, that edgy feeling.
Yeah, and it looks like it's giving it some perspective and depth as well.
Yeah. So,
yeah, excellent. So this work's going to be on display, available for sale at Gillian's exhibition Home Sweet Home. And that's on the 30th of July we've made it, haven't we, Gillian?
Yes, 30th of July.
Yeah, so
3, just a short one, yeah.
Yeah, so from 12 till 3 to have tea with Gillian. So for those people who are keen to see these works, they are available for preview online or by appointment prior to the 30th of July. We would ask those people who are purchasing before that date if we can actually have the works available for display for the purposes of the exhibition, but more than happy for people to view and purchase prior to the actual event. And of course, we'll communicate if any works have sold. But yeah, it's a great opportunity to come have tea with Gillian, fulfill her obsession with tea, and to see these works face to face, up close and personal. And we've already had a request, because this exhibition is going to be held in Claremont, because we wanted a central location just for something different. But we've already had a request for the exhibition to be up closer to where Gillian's studio is, which is near Joondalup. So depending on the response we get from the Claremont exhibition, we may do a repeat, or we may do fresh works or different works under the same theme. That is yet to be determined, so no promises yet. Otherwise Julie's going to go, oh, I've got to start painting. So we're doing a little mini interview each week leading up to the exhibition. So we're 6 weeks away from the exhibition. So we'll do another interview next week, possibly with one of the tea. We'll continue the tea paintings, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent. So I'll see you again next week.
Okay. Thanks, Fleur.
Thanks, Gillian. Bye.